All of them, just tap up here. It shows you all of those quick access toggles, which shows you just how many features are available here. And if you want to access the settings for any one of these toggles, just tap and hold on them. It takes you directly to the settings panel, which explores some of those features. Now, Quick Connect is an easy way of accessing all of the devices sharing a wireless network that this device can control. So for example, it sees my Samsung Smart TV here. So I can launch this to get to that TV to, for example, use the Watch On app to control it. I can also go to my printers, so I can see all my printers here, so I can access my printers or send print jobs to those printers, or I can access my AV receiver, which is equipped with wireless DLNA capability, so I can play back music, videos, or even photos. Now, S-Finder has also been integrated here. This allows you to search the entire device as well as the web for content. So for example, if you search Android, this searches for everything from the browser to my files to events under S-Planner, settings, web searches. You can also filter this by, for example, the type of media you want to search for, images, music, or videos, the time frame, such as, for example, past 30 days, past 7 days, yesterday, today, or the next 7 days in the case of an event on your calendar. You can also search by tags and location tags. So there's a lot of search options here. Now, foldering has changed here as well. So as you can see, when you open up the folder, you get this little animation, and the icon is different. You can see it actually shows you the first 6 items in the folder. You can also go up here to edit. So you can change the color of the folder if you want, or you can tap up here to change the name. Now they've made some significant changes in and out to see all of the pages, but you can still use that slider mechanism to slide between them. They give us just 2 pages of apps, and they've refrained from installing all of the apps. In fact, if you go up here, you can actually go to Galaxy Essentials to see all the apps that did not come installed with this device, which historically they've kind of just added, such as the Samsung Watch On app for using the remote control, the Samsung Smart Switch mobile app, the SideSync app, the Samsung Gear app, so you see one for Gear and one for the Fit Manager, S-Note, Scrapbook, Samsung Wallet, the S-Translator, Story Album, and the Video Editor. So all of those are not pre-installed, but you can download them here. You also have the ability to create a folder. So for example, I'm just going to do test, like so. And you can go ahead and start adding certain apps to that folder. So let's say we want to add our YouTube, etc., etc. So just select those, click done, and now we have our little folder here. In fact, we can go up here and change the color if we wish. Now, if you look down here, you can see the action of creating the folder creates another page under the app drawer that is dedicated just toward folders. So if you want to move this or add it to the home screen, just tap and hold it and drag it to one of the available home screens here, like so. Now, if you want to rearrange apps within the app drawer, you actually have to go up here to edit, and then you can start moving them around. So for example, if I want to drop the folder here, I can't. It stays back in this folder page, but I can go ahead and move these apps around like so. Now, if I'm not using that editor, basically when I tap and hold any of these icons, it takes me to the home screen to drop the app. Now, I have several options up here. I can create a new folder. I can go to App Info to see more information about the app. I can disable the app, meaning I can't uninstall this app. If I could uninstall this app, I would see uninstall, or I can cancel. If I go up to App Info, just shows you some information about it. Google search, you can uninstall the updates, you can turn it off, you can force stop it, that sort of thing. Now you can also change the order of these icons, so you can go to View As, you can do Custom, which is default, or you can do Alphabetical. That also changes the orders in the folders. Now you can also see your downloaded apps and uninstall them if you want. You can select which ones you want to uninstall or disable apps, and any of the apps that are eligible for disabling or uninstallation are selected here, so you can select certain ones here. You can uninstall that one. You can disable that one. So certain ones can be uninstalled, certain ones just can be disabled. You can also hide apps. So if you just want to hide apps, if you can't uninstall them, if you can't disable them, etc., you can alternatively just hide them from view. Now, in terms of the Android keys, we have our home button. If we tap and hold the home button, it takes us to Google Now. And if we double tap the home button, it takes us to S-Voice. Now, the S-Voice interface has also been redesigned, so let's go ahead and test that out. What's the weather like tomorrow?
On Wednesday, we'll have some sunshine with a few clouds.
Now we also have our recent apps button. So this shows us all of our recent apps. And as you can see, this has also been redesigned a bit. So you can tap on any one of these to get back to them, and like so. Or you can swipe them out of the way to close them. It looks like you can't. There you go. You can swipe left or right. You can also go to your application manager. So you can see active apps. You can end certain apps. You can end them all. And you can also close them all just by hitting that control right there. Now we also have our back button. Now some of these buttons have dual purposes. So for example, the recent apps button, if you press and hold it, will actually get you to your settings. So as you can see when you're on home screen, it takes you to your editor for editing your home screens. Now, if you're in another app, let's go to the browser. If you tap and hold that now, you get to your settings. Instead of pressing up here to get to settings, you can press down here and hold it to get to settings. All right, so let's take a look at the new multi-window mode, which you can invoke just by tapping and holding the back button. So this invokes the multi-window tray, which has all the apps that are supported in multi-windowing, such as Chrome and YouTube. So you can drag and drop those icons into the window, and now you have a side-by-side viewer, which you can resize. And if you tap on that little circle at the center of it, you can swap between the windows. You can also close one of the windows, or you can copy text from one window to another, or pictures from one window to another. Now, if you add additional apps over one of these apps, let's go ahead and drag and drop Hangouts. And again, if I drag and drop Gmail over here, I can continue doing this, drag and drop more apps over the other app, and then if I go up here to close it, it will reveal the last app I had open. Now, if you minimize this and go to recent apps, you can see when you tap on the apps that were in the multi-window mode, it brings back the multi-window mode, so you don't lose it every time you close it. Now, if you look at the bottom of the tray, you get this little editor here. So if you go to create, you can actually create a custom recipe. So you can see the two apps I have open right now, YouTube and Chrome. If I click OK, you now see that was just added to the top of the tray. Now, if I go to my multi-window mode, tap up here, it automatically launches those two apps for me. Now, I can also go to Edit here and add additional apps to this tray. You can see some are not added, such as Google Play Movies. I can just drag and drop it here and reposition them. I can also reposition the other apps. And once you're done, click Done. Now, in terms of our app drawer, you can see it's actually pretty sparse. So we have all these Samsung apps, we have all the Google apps, and then we have just a few third-party apps. That includes Flipboard and Dropbox. Of course, Flipboard powers the My Magazine feature, and Dropbox has a partnership with Samsung, so you do get 50 gigs of free storage when you sign up with your Samsung device. We designed some of the Samsung apps, such as our calculator. We have a Chat On app, which is Samsung's cross-platform chat app. We have a new email app. Of course, we have the standard WebKit browser. We have a new memo app, which has also been cleaned up a bit. We also have a nice file browser. So this gives us access to all of our files, categorized by images, audio, downloaded apps, documents, videos, and recent files. You can see your download history, your device storage, and you can see your Dropbox account as well. So you can go right to your Dropbox from the file manager. We also have a voice recorder, which looks pretty slick. We have our video player, which also has pop-out video playback. So if I play a video here, and I go ahead and hit this pop out, I can now watch the video while doing other things. In fact, I can resize it and that sort of thing. So there you go, resize it, press the home button. Again, this is pretty familiar territory from other Samsung devices. We also have the Samsung App Store. We have our new music player, which is pretty basic here. We have our albums. We can search by tracks and playlist. So for example, if we just want to play one song here, so you get a pretty basic interface. You can shuffle them. You can skip ahead. You can see the album, and then you can create playlists. You can also send the audio to another device, such as my Samsung Smart TV or my AV receiver, which is equipped with DLNA. Now, as I said, we have an IR blaster up here to control your AV equipment, and they do give us an included app called Smart Remote, which is powered by Peel. Basically, all you do is log in and specify your service provider. So in my case, that's Comcast. So it shows me all my programming. And for example, I can go back to see everything that's on NBC, PBS, ABC. I can see my channel listing. And if I just want to access any one of these, all I have to do is tap on it and click Watch Now. It sends the code to the TV to change it to that right channel. I can also jump to my remote control here for volume, channel up and down, source. I can go here to select my device. So if I want to control my set-top box or my TV box, I can do that as well. And I can add additional equipment or even set up different rooms. If I want to control